All right, we are live. Get my mic in place. Welcome everybody. The Sam Crescent Art Show. Welcome on Twitch, Kick, YouTube. Welcome YouTube and welcome Facebook. It's Sunday, May 24th, 2026. About 6 a.m., a little after 6 a.m. And kicking off the next day with another drawing session. I've already kind of been warming up here, and more or less what I'm doing is going over this animation, and I'm adjusting it now because some of these shapes, I'm just drawing shapes and making them rotate around. And this is a drawing exercise I'm doing for specifically for proportions, for basically being able to take basic objects, turn them in, and rotate them around in space and time. And it's kind of more fun to do it as a animation, which is what I'm creating here, than just drawing shapes over and over again on the screen and not have them do anything. And the main reason for having a digital workspace and doing so much digital art is specifically so that I can do more animation with my work. So that's what I'm doing. And so like that box is too long. I think this box is basically the same proportions, but and it looks like it just moved up to me though. I'm trying to make sure these boxes don't change in size. And over here, I'm animating, I'm going to animate a Loomis head. And I'm going to continue to fill this out. And so there's different shapes and different objects rotating around everywhere on this page by the time it's done. But the Loomis head animation is pretty much new. And it's kind of hard because we're just animating this ball. I don't think it would go there. The ball is one of the harder things to animate, and I will have to make further adjustments to it. Like I'm already seeing stuff that I'm going, it's not looking right. All right, just keep it going here. And we've got some kind of emoji chat with a bunch of flags and stuff. I don't know what that means on Twitch. I think it's some kind of a bot that drops a bunch of like flag emojis in your chat. But I don't know what the purpose of it is. Like, why do people want their chat bots to do that? To the wrong square. This square is supposed to rotate to here. So this square is rotating around like a top-down view. This square is rotating dimensionally, and this square is rotating. I've already drawn this out, but I didn't like the proportions. They weren't really accurate enough. And so I'm redoing it. Trying to get that accuracy in there. And the beloved Loomis ball has been killing me. Absolutely killing me. All right. I'm going to set up more stuff after the stream. The reason why I didn't do it before is because it could potentially take me hours to get some of this stuff set up. And I don't have time. I will do it. I'd rather get the stream done, get the drawing done, get the real work done and out of the way, and then I can mess around with improving the stream and getting the live chat going, the unified chat. I set it up, but then I didn't realize you had to log into every single social network, streaming network. You know, I didn't realize you had to log into every single one in order to set it up. So I have to do that, and that could take a while because it's going to entail finding every single password. Why, yes, it's saved on the computer, but it's still. It sounds like a lot more work than it probably is. I'll probably do it and I'll be like, should have just done this, but not going to bother with it. Now it looks like we're back to a square, close to. Yeah, we are. So this square has made it all the way around. It's rotational. It's rotation. And I made it disappear, but I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm going to have this square in movement now. Now see, this square just got small, way small. And the perspective changed. Okay, the perspective changes on purpose, but it gets way small. Let's see if we can fix this. This is where we have the square, I think, changes in size, but it has to, because it moves up, but see what happens if I go here. In the cube, it has to stay a cube, so it's gonna move. It has to move up there. No way around that. That's fine. This bad boy here is still rotating. And it's rotating around an access point. And the Loomis head. Now we're going to make this Loomis head break off. So draw this ball. I'm going to have this here. Here. Actually, we want to break it right here. Just going to do that to erase this bottom part of the ball. And this is going to stay where it is. This is going to come. So I don't want it to grow bigger. We just moved it a hair. Like that. Very nice. Gonna move a hair here. This all stays. There. All right. So that's that frame. Okay. I see what's happening. We're now here with this. Whoops. And we are now looking at this thing. We've moved the camera down. the right angle. Just get a straight line. Come on, where's my straight line? There to there. Boom. The volume of this box just jumped up a little bit right there. That was the only problem. I think we're okay though. We've got the rotational box. I think I'm only going to do 10 frames, or this is going to take me the whole entirety of the morning to do this. We don't want. Because there is drawing stuff to get done. But when it's done, it'll be a cool little exercise that I'll have completed. And the Loomis animations are new. I haven't done those yet. But I'm making it up. There is no Loomis animation, guys. It's just I'm taking the Loomis head, primitive head from the Loomis book, and I'm going to animate. He shows this sequence of it getting like bisected into this new kind of shape. That's what I'm working on. How did that grow in size? Slightly, but it's fine. No. I just need to move this thing way out of the way of this. And actually, we want to keep this pin on from there to there, so it's going to be about here. We want to keep this pin actually on here. So let's adjust this pin so that there's less of it showing here. There we go. There we are. Very nice. Okay, that's pretty good. Hmm. What the heck? Why would I do that? Yeah, this has to move there slightly. Let's fix this box. It's not in the right place. Okay, we're at the point where that box has disappeared now. So it's going to go here. I don't know what this corresponds to be honest. Let me see here. Let's see if we can find the box rotating from the top down. So yeah, this is supposed to be about there. That. That's where this box is at. This is a little much here. Let's fix this. It's supposed to be there. We'll pull that in. Trying to make sure the volumes stay the same on each one of these cubes is not easy. But it is an exercise that I think will improve my long drawing ability over time. And I'm kind of just banking on that my brain, some subconscious part of it will start to see where things are supposed to be correct and where things are incorrect. Start to get it right. Now, I want to get this out of the way. So I'm going to really move it far on this one. I'm going to push this thing way over here. So we can get the right proportions here. Keep it the same angle. Pretty good there. A little more here. There, that's a little bit more of the shape. There we go. Let's fix this here. This is off. Something like that. A little bit more. Oh, why is this giving me a hard time? Ah, I don't know why I can't recreate that. Now what we've got is that. There. Something like that. It's still the same. I'm going to put this here so it's just as a placeholder, and then I'll go back and erase it later. No, that's off, actually. If this pin was going through this, going there. Now this market here is where we were. Okay, so that's going, breaking off. Still messing with this. All right, let's do one more. One more, and then let me see the time here. 28 minutes. Do one more, and then we'll go to the stream. Um, all right, not bad. We're getting there. I was like checking the animation, seeing where we're at with it all. And do one more here. So this box is now here. Let me get the reference for that top box. It's so hard. Too far out. There we go. That's where that's supposed to be for the top rotational top box. This one is we're losing the box shape on this bad boy here. I think this needs to go out to there, and then this side shortens there. Might have changed it a little bit, the volume of it. Okay, yeah, I gotta pull this side in just a little bit. There. With this box, I'm shortening it so it's a cube and not a rectangle. Because I had this thing in the animation, it's like a rectangle, then it shortens itself down to a cube, and I don't like that. I want it to stay the same volume the whole time. So it's what I'm going to try to keep it at there. It's kind of weird how there's artists that they literally make their entire career on being a former Disney animator. It's like nothing else they do after gets them anywhere or something. Like former Disney animator becomes the identity of their entire art career. Seems kind of weird to me sometimes. It's like, I guess the reason why I don't relate to that, or it seems strange, is it's like this whole thing of like just hitching your whole wagon to like some other studio, some other thing for the rest of your life seems weird. Like you worked for Disney for some artist worked for Disney for a few years, 5 years, 10 years, 3 years, whatever, and that becomes the identity of their art going forward for the rest of their life. I get it. In a way, it's sort of like a recognition thing. Like, hey, look, this thing is I am at this standard. Like they, like, because it's very competitive to try to work there, and so if you made it into that to that studio, your a specific quality of work, it's supposed to denote that you are capable of executing at a specific skill level or quality of work. I think that's kind of why you see these people that just hitch themselves to former Disney animator, former Disney artist, or something like that for the rest of their lives. But I would think at some point you'd want to do something that, you know, else that you could be just as proud of. But then I go, I don't know, if I had like made it into a studio like that and worked there, maybe I'd want to flex that all the time. I don't know. Because it's so competitive. But I feel like it doesn't really matter because people, they're going to buy the art they like and they don't care. Like, you know, if you're a former Disney animator, but you're just making lame art, no one's gonna buy it anyway. So from that point of view, I think it doesn't really matter that much. When it comes to getting sales with a real market. All right, I'm stopping there for the animation today. So there's 25 frames here, so we got 2 seconds of animation because I'm animating on 12 frames per second. And so you can see what's going on is just have this thing doing this. It looks like this square is growing in size, no question about it. I'm going to have to go through and kind of shrink it down a little bit. This one is actually staying very well proportioned. And the new one, it looks like the new one is staying very much better proportion than the old one there. And then this thing is working. I just need to get this off the screen so I can build out the rest of this Loomis head. And it doesn't matter. I'll extend the animation however long I have to complete the Loomis head. All right, let's move on. I don't have time for Bridgman. I don't have time for you, Bridgman. Sorry, Bridgman. Just don't have time for you anymore. I probably should make time for Bridgman, but I'm not gonna do it. Let's draw in Leopard and let's see if we can draw in Jungle Girl here. Jungle Girl, she has become a fan favorite for many reasons. Have to see if you can figure out why Jungle Girl has become so popular. Turn this up a little so I can see what my sketch is, because I think I have a pretty good semblance of a leopard right here. So let's get this thing put in. Mr. Leopard. Leopard. Pretty good semblance of a leopard. I'm going to have to move this down a little tad because Jungle Dude, he's not Jungle Man anymore, he's Jungle Dude. Jungle Dude has his hand on Leopard's head. Let's just turn Jungle Dude off for now. That'll help. Now we can kind of see where Leopard is. There we go. Like so. Okay. Here. Fortunately for me, I have drawn leopards many times. Therefore, I've been able to do this so far without. I'm going to look one up. Fix that a little bit. Okay, got the leopard thing there. Neck column coming down. We have the chest here. Leg coming out. Shoulder blades, leg. I think it's going to be more there. More like that is what I want. Something like that. When their claws aren't out, they just have these paws that kind of look like that. Not like that, guys. What the heck would I just do here? I got a Sergio Aragonés it. But I was watching this Sergio Aragonés video on YouTube. I'll post it somewhere so people can see it. And holy cow, man, he's got a shorthand for cartooning like you never seen it. I need to look up more videos of just Sergio Aragonés drawing. It's pretty interesting to watch his cartooning shorthand and how fast he is. Now, he was hamming it up for the camera for sure. Guys, I'm going to pull up a leopard reference. This is killing me here. Let me see what I can do here. Some dude says, hi, what are we yapping about? Just drawing and stuff, comic books, things like that. Anything you want to talk about, just throw it up there and I'll try to address it. All right. So I'm drawing my comic book strength monsters and I used to be able to, I'm having a hard time with this leopard, so I just pulled up an image. Doesn't have to be this exact pose, but I need something so I can kind of get it right, because I was definitely off by a lot. And now I feel like I have it handled now. Here. They actually have 4. No, it looks like there's just like, you mainly see 3 major sections, so just leave it at that. And let's get that going there. Indicate some fur. Now for the back leg. Let's see if we can see here in this leopard imagery. Is there one sitting somewhere? Not really. Let's just type in sitting. That helps a bit. Okay. Helps a bit more. It's a big shape here like that. Clean this up a little bit. Pretty bad, but we're getting it there. Then that one's on that side. No. Make the tail come. Like that. All right, so let me see here. This is wrong. I know why it doesn't look right is because it's not right. the way these leopards' legs go when they sit is they go out kind of here, or like that. I don't know, man. Like, think about the volume of this thing. It's like he's sitting here. I feel like that's more we'd see is that. Let's knock that down. Go here. Let's stick with what we were doing originally. I think is better. Sometimes you overthink it and you start drawing all these different angles and stuff, and it's just none of it works, and you're going, what? Then you just scribble something down fast, trust your intuitive brain, subconscious brain, and it gets it for you. I'm just gonna say that's it right there. That's the leopard. Delete that one out. All right, we got to get the spots and stuff, and it'll start looking more like what a leopard should look like. I'm gonna use this G pen for this because I can kind of. It's more pressure sensitive. You can get like more thick and thin lines and stuff. Then all up here, you've got spots that are kind of like that. So I think I've got it. I'm going to switch back to the chat up here, make sure nobody's trying to talk to me. No, nobody's talking to me. Of course not. All right, let's keep going. Eventually, I'll have a multi-chat. Heck, man, my email is just like out of control. I gotta unsubscribe from more stuff or something because I cannot get my email to. My inbox is like, it's got way too much stuff in it at all times. I feel like. Their back feet are longer, but I want this foot maybe coming towards us more, so kind of gonna just be like this. Just gonna keep it at that. But it's all too much. Redo it again. There, that'll work. Let's put the silhouette value on this guy. Hopefully I'll get him put together here for this comic book. It has a huge cast of characters and just something that happened as I wrote it. I didn't plan on this thing having this many different guys in it. It just is what organically emerged. And I didn't fight it because it's what it needed. Let's work on this here. I need to set up like my own braille on my keyboard so I can kind of feel, because I don't have braille. I only have braille where like the J is and the F. But if I could get the whole keyboard brailled out a little bit better so I could just feel where my letters are, then I could just hit my hotkeys and never have to look down there, which would be pretty nice. All right, that's pretty cool, actually. I'll take that leopard all day. Kind of got a cute little character to him, jungle dude. Now let's position leopard. Where he should be, which would be right about there. The jungle dude's got his hand on his head. I think that works right there. We'll take it. We'll take it. Let's label it leopard. Create a folder for the leopard. Create another layer here for the flats. Let's see if we can select outside this guy. We can invert this. Switch to just like a lighter yellow or something. Wrong layer. All right, that's good. Yeah, so we got jungle dude, we've got leopard. Who else do we need here? Now we've got to do jungle woman, jungle girl. I don't know what I call her. Get those in there. All right, let's take off the leopard reference. We don't need it. We go for 50 minutes now. One new character dropped into the comic book, which is cool. See what we can do here. We're going to take this animation timeline here and move it down. All right. Let's turn off rocking so that we can see the totality of Jungle Girl. And let's get her started. This is going to be a challenge. Just start with the hardest part, which is going to be her face. She needs to be down there. The heck, man? All right. too big of a brush. So she's looking down. Man, this is such a small head. Gonna be easy. Let's just say that. All right, that'll be the hair shape right there. I think I'm gonna look at a reference of a woman's hair because it's gonna help me. It's gonna help me a little bit with the doing it. Brah. Yeah, why is my pen so small here? There we go. All right. Pull up a reference of a woman's hair. I'll take that face. It's all it needs. See, where's my thing here? Let's go in woman's hair blowing in the wind. These are all terrible. I hate these references. They're stuck. None of this is helpful in any way. Whatever, I'm just gonna have to do it without. Fine, something like that. Good enough. Now let's see if we can get the rest of this going here. The arm, I'll get the arms in. There. Let's do this. Little trick from Bridgman. We'll have this. This knuckle will be up high. And these knuckles will be down lower. That's pretty bad. Let's fix that. Be like that. And then we have here. There. That's pretty cool. All right, we'll draw her rope that she's swinging around on, the vine that she's got. I can't see it. There we go. I don't want to unify those. All right, let's see what we got here for a hand. That's pretty bad. The palm of the hand in there. That pinky is a little bit too long, but it's okay. That's fine. I'll take that hand. It's not a perfect hand, but we're talking about fairly small character. And if it's got some semblance of the thing, I think it'll be fine. I think it'll work. Right about there. All right, now comes everybody's favorite part. Put her eyeball in here, maybe. This one's foreshortened, so it's coming like that. And do that there. Well, got this here. Covering them. Got the strap here holding them together. It always makes me laugh when I draw this. Let's not do that. Well, actually, I could do it, but what I've got to do is this. So that there's straps holding these things, holding the thing on there. And we'll get her bottoms on. Their navel's under there. Can't really see it. little bit too much stylization down here on this calf and foot. Let's just try and drop that in a little bit differently. We'll give it back to the chat stuff. All right, let's see here. Still getting used to 3 screens. I got 3 screens now. I'm not used to it yet, though. Interesting. Man, that's a giant big toe. The shape is, you just gotta think in the shape, Sam. Come on, what's the shape, dude? There, that's fine. You're not gonna see toes this small. Just not. That's pretty cool there. Let's get this thing going. You don't need to do her muscles every single time. That foot is still kind of whack to me, but see if we can fix it in a minute. A little better. I'll just raise that. Keep it like that. That's fine. I'll take it. Those feet are fine. I'm going to make her legs a little bit longer. Even though they're kind of foreshortened a little bit here, we just want to... Just going to stretch them out a little more so she doesn't look like she's a... Like her legs are super tiny, super short or something. That's pretty cool. Let's turn off the original sketch. See what we're dealing with now. Okay. Actually wondering if it would look cooler if I did this. Let me see if I change this strap here. If I put some tension on these straps, I think it's gonna be better, like here. And we gotta put some tension on these straps. You can't have them all just like loose and flappity. Oh. I think that's better. Maybe a little tension there. And let's put some tension on this strap. And I think what I'm going to do for this one is we're going to strap it up like this. What if I bring this strap up off here and have it coming like that? Boom. Yeah, that's way better. Now it looks like there's something holding these things in. Like that a lot more. Now let's go with the outline here. There we go. This is pretty much kind of a Spider-Man-esque pose, sort of. I mean, not really. I mean, Spider-Man. I think my subconscious, though, is pulling out that one cover to Spider-Man where he's like that. I wasn't looking at it or thinking about it, but if it looks like a Spider-Man thing, it was unintentional, but it happens, you know. There's only so many poses the human body can take. It is limited because of the fact that we have 2 arms and 2 legs and all that stuff. So it's not infinite. While there's a large number of combinations, those combinations still do have a cap to them. And then if you take all the different ways the body can pose, and you eliminate or you boil it down to all the coolest looking poses, then we're left with even less combinations. The only problem is I usually draw these things a little bit more on the saggy side. We'll see what it looks like. I'll make them more saggy. Let's see what it looks like. Man, my arms are going in a weird position here. Maybe I'll use that trick. I think I can just leave them as is. But if I wanted to, it might be more interesting. Just see here. Yeah, I actually like that shape much better. It's a lot more. Yes, that's way better. What I drew before is just like 2 cartoon looking balloons, and I want to make these things look more like they've had gravity pulling on them for the last 30 years. Why? It's just more interesting to me, you know? It's just more interesting. That's all there is to it, you know? Now, let's see. If we want to do the top this way or the other way. The perspective needs to be going around the form, I feel like. So we're going to keep the top like that. We'll keep the connector thing here. There. And then I'm going to have this come in like this. tension. Maybe like that. Let me see here. Just for the strap, it's like I've got to figure out this strap once and for all so that I do the strap the same every time. So it's like we could have them going too fast. This way, that way. That's kind of it. Well, but if they're swinging out, it's like that strap has to go there. I feel like this strap has to go like this. That strap has to go like that. If I go, or I can make it go there, but now we're interfering with that form there. That does look better. Let's try that. There. I probably need to do is look at some different bikini tops and see how they fasten them around the, like how these fasteners go, because I have to look that up right now because it's like it's not fasteners. All right, well now it's just showing me clips. It's not showing me actual bikini top fasteners. It's just showing me like close-ups of different clips for the back. I'm not doing that style. Let me see here. Let's just look up straight up bikini tops. All right, so it's like kind of a triangular shape. Some of them. Gotta do something different about it. Let's see here. See what we got here. All right, found one that looks like what it. So here's a few things that are. Where the heck did that go? Found one that looks like what I'm drawing, more like it. Now, I've caricatured this thing so much that you're never going to find it'll be hard to find something that looks just like the anatomy of this cartoon character, but the ones that have this connection, they're more out here. So like that. It don't work for me, man. I'm designing it, and I'm saying that it's down here. I don't care. What layer am I on, man? What the heck? So I'm sticking with this because it looks better. And then there's a clasp right here. So let's see what happens if I do that. I go here. We draw it like this. Yeah, that's better. If I get that triangle shape there, it's going to look a little better. And then if we put in the clasp right there, it's going to look like these things are actually strapped in. Huge improvement, actually. I don't want to increase the volume, though, too much. Because I want them to have that elongated look. No. Yeah, it's got to go there. I feel like that. I kind of like it though coming out like that because it just looks so much more. It's just more wild. Let's kind of fix it some more. Didn't mean to do that. That's in the wrong place now. We'll put that in later. There. There we go. Put a little clasp in right here. That's good. There's only nothing to that. Just go there. Yeah, that's better, I think. All right, we're going to erase off the old stuff here. I just don't know if these are long enough, though. All right, I'm going to put the outline on them, but I'm going to elongate them even more. That's pretty funny looking. That's better. What the heck layer am I on? Oh, there. So I can just move that off. No problem. There we go. What the heck? Okay, I get it. This was where the old one was, or something was there. I don't know what. Belly button's right about there, so just keep it like that. Okay. What would happen if I do this? There you go. All right, let's just put in some maybe some shadows a little bit here. I'm going to leave those shadows off. We can do all of that with the color. Like even this should just be like a shape. About like that. Put some detail-y kind of texture, not detail, but just a little bit of texture on this vine that she's swinging on. All right, that's pretty cool. A couple of things here I don't want. I don't know why that's there. That's better. Putting the navel right there. A few fragments here and there that I'm taking off. All right, that drawing's done. So rotate this back. And label this Jungle Girl. So let's make a layer here. Let's select her. Boom. That's another character knocked in. 7:49. We're coming up on 8 o'clock now. Been going on the stream for an hour and a half. What the heck? I'm seeing a weird thing on my screen. I'm not seeing. What's going on here? Okay, it looks like OBS is showing what's not on my screen. And I don't think it captured me drawing any of that. So I'm going to shut the stream down and restart it.